Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are playing Parklife and we've just finished out laying out this entire area over here. So what I'm kind of keen on doing, there's still some layout options that can go on over here. I think, see there still needs a little bit to go over here. But what I thought I'd do is I'll start by actually implementing a few things over here. So there's at least a little bit of action going on in this new area. So let's have a quick look at what our pipe network looks like. So yeah, as we can see, no real piping going on over here. So let's run it along the main road over here. Okay, so we'll basically start by cutting it through there, all the way through there to the end, and then we'll just start wrapping it up and down some of these roads. Best we can. We'll obviously run it down that one over there. We'll run it up here. It's a bit of a meandering one with the roadway. Okay, something like that. That'll feed straight into this one. At the same time, we can do that one on that side. So typically, how that would be laid out, just along some of the roads, up like that, and even a little bit in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. What we'll do is we'll maybe come down there and then run it alongside that one though. So that looks messy, but that's how it'll look in a setup like this. A bit of redundancy over there, a bit of redundancy to tie this in on this side. Probably need a little bit of a spur line right there, and a similar thing over here. Yeah, so that looks a little bit weird, but it's going to give us kind of kind of coverage that we need in this area over here. So I think that's going to cover us for now. We'll start laying it out and then we'll see. Okay, so what do we need? We need a ton of industrial uses. So really that's not the greatest need for us right now. So we've got a lot of office space over here happening over here. So let's have a quick look. If we go and say that, so there's a lot of office happening over there. We could do a bit of a commercial piece, so let's actually do that. Let's and shall we do lower density? That's the other thing that I'm kind of wondering about. Actually, lower densities is probably better suited in this area right over here. So let's run a bit of low density commercial alongside this road, the railway line up here, and we'll see what we can get developing right over there, and even up alongside here, and we can even fill in that area a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Let's do that. See what we can get going on right over here. Okay, so things are starting to develop. We of course need to give it a little bit of power. So let me see about hooking that up over here somewhere. And what I want to do is actually see what the power is on about. What? Is that in the road? My goodness. That's not what we had in mind, is it? Let's quickly get rid of those two, and then we'll just try and link them back up again. If we do something like that and like that, ooh, it's doubled up over there. So what we'll do is we'll run it alongside here, so at least we'll be able to tie in a little bit over here. That's gonna okay, so hopefully that will develop a little and tie in. So let's see about whether that is going to develop in this area. Yeah, it is. So hopefully that'll kind of start jumping down the road over here, so we've got some power in there. Okay, so this will be a bit of a lower density commercial area because of the roads and the limited, well, not that limited accessibility. Oh, and the one thing that I've actually forgot to do, which I've been planning all along and then ended up forgetting it, is, oops, that's not actually what I had in mind, is to get rid of that guy, get rid of the zoning right over here for now, and then what we needed to do was get a bit of a pathway. So what kind of paths are we looking at? Something like that, and can we drop that down sufficiently in any spaces already? Okay, so if I do Anarchy, we can actually drop it down there, and is that pretty decent? Yeah, I think that's okay. That's okay. And on the other side, what we want to do is we want to link that up and over the highway. Something like that, and I just want to gonna drop it down there. So now you can actually go straight to the national park from the train station. So that's pretty good. Are these things gonna hook together so we're gonna get some power down here at any point? Hopefully soon. And I would very much like to see a little bit of residential demand popping in, because this area over here I feel has to be residential. This area right here, I feel it just has to be. It just kind of has to be residential. While this, I'm very happy for this to be kind of commercial and even get to something a little bit more industrial towards this side. Wow, look at that, getting tons of traffic across the bridge over here. This bridge, seeing a bit of traffic. Yeah, a little bit. Wow, that's an interesting setup over there. We might have to look at that a little bit in more detail. Ah, finally we've got some power coming on down here all the way. We've got some people walking over there, so that's pretty good. What I wanted to do is have a quick look at the rail line. So if I go public transport, and I wanted to actually, what I needed to do is grab the train station thingy, okay, and I'm gonna pull that across here, okay, and then at the same time what I'm going to need to do is add 1, 2 over there. Perfect. So now we actually have a link up over here so that people can actually use the train to get over here. Eventually they'll do the same thing and end it at the terminal station right at the end there. Aha, we're starting to see a little bit of stuff happening over here. So what we're going to want to do is make sure we have a little bit of all the various services. So first things first, let's grab a bit of a police station, a small police station, maybe in this area, maybe around here. I think that's a pretty good spot. So let's add a bit of a police station over there. We want to grab, definitely add a bit of death care. Make sure we switch anarchy off. I don't want the whole thing anarchied out. So a bit of death care in this area. Probably need to expand it with a little bit more right over there. Yeah, so that's a bit of death care right there. Now let's get some other medical pieces in here. I don't want a tiny piece, but I want at least some kind of clinic or so. Bit of a doctor's office or something going on in this area. Actually, this section right here is probably a very good spot for it, so that it can actually link that direction too. And then also a little bit of a fire department, just like a fire station 17 or something over there. So there's a little bit going on. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, the police station links up that side very well. Also, nice, the things are starting to happen over here. Oh, look at that. That's starting to look pretty good. We immediately have people rushing through. Actually, now we're starting to see a bit of action here at the national park. All people using the train to get there, starting to look like it. Maybe what I can also do is I'll also do a little bit of office in this area too. So if we run a bit of office down this side of the road, it means we can still always go up towards and still do so a little bit of office over there. So some work in that area. That's starting to look pretty good down here. Very interesting. So that can go a little higher density. So we'll just keep an eye on that. This road should be fine though. Should be fine. What I'm keen on is actually getting getting our residential up a little. So the reason we're not seeing residential is mainly because of school. So if I quickly have a look at our high school capacity, yeah, so we're pretty much in need of a little bit more high school capacity, I think. And then elementary school, what's going on? University. Can we just like, that's the thing. Okay, so we've got a fair bit of this going on. But what I'm going to do is get rid of that. I'm going to do an elementary school. Institute of Creative Arts is alternative to the high school. So let's do an Institute of Creative Arts over here somewhere. Actually, I think somewhere over here is a very good spot for it. Or do we want it? Yeah, something like that is probably going to be a decent spot for that. So let's squeeze that one in there. And then we need a bit of an elementary school. Something like, yeah, the Nova Primary School I think is a good spot. And that spot right there, I like it quite a lot for it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're going to go with a little bit higher density in this spot right over there. And then I'll finish it off with some more lower densities over there. We'll also fill in that area and that area with a little bit more low density right there. I think I like that. The one thing that I wanted to do is also maybe add a little bit of commercial in this area. Yeah, something like that. So there's a little going on over there. At the same time, yeah, so this is struggling will probably struggle to grow. I'm kind of wondering if I do a little bit more of this office space kind of thing. No, what we'll do is we'll almost try and tie these together over the top. So let me just kind of fill in these little pieces over here. We'll do a few bits and pieces. Like that. Yeah, I think that should be fine if we start filling in that a little bit. Get that to get over here, and then we'll see about tying that together. Maybe hopefully that'll kind of make the jump to the other side there. I'm hoping it'll do it. I'm hoping it will. So that's filling in. How's this gonna do? Not too sure yet. It's looking interesting. It is. I think this area will be very interesting as this as it fills in. I really think it will be quite an interesting one. That should create the jump. Yes, it did. It indeed created the jump over here. So that's good. What's this? This is like a car wash or something, is it? Yeah, car wash. So it's creating all of that. This is more of kind of fast food. Yeah, this is very kind of boxy kind of thing going on over there. So yeah, we need a little bit of residential to come in here. So what I'll do, I might up the residential zoning just a little bit. So let's fix that value over there at least, just so that we maintain some demand for residential to come in for now. I know it's with regarding the schooling, as if there's no schooling, then we've got all kinds of issues with it. Okay, so that's starting to see this area fill out a little bit. What I'm keen on doing is actually extending our residential areas over here. So stuff like this, I think I love the idea of having this as residential. Okay, so the kind of the straight streets that we see over here, straight collector roads, basically, are our commercial areas and so on. But these meandering pieces over here, and the cul-de-sacs and so on, they are all, well, should all be kind of residential in nature. Stuff like that. So we'll see. We may just gonna squeeze some other uses in there, but at least all of this, I'm again thinking, needs to be pretty much residential. So this area will be a nice mixed-use area in general. That's the plan, at least. Maybe not like that. Something like this. So we'll make sure to do pretty good. Fill this in nicely with some pieces of residential, not all the little blocks. Obviously the meandering roads that we're seeing here is causing a little bit of funniness with how we can zone these areas. Like that. Actually, we can do the whole thing there. Yeah, I think this entire section here probably good. And even this could also be residential, but this, I'm kind of thinking that one might actually be a little bit higher density. Oops, right there. Yeah, some high density in this area should be pretty good. Right there, and like that. That's pretty decent. This side will be lower density again, so the connection straight onto there is going to be a little bit higher density. Then low density here again. Yeah, from an access point of view, probably better to do it this way. Okay, start filling in some more of this. Okay, and that seems to be a pretty decent little suburb area over there. And then we'll see about getting some more kind of almost commercial to run up here, up and down this street. And again, I'm thinking not to... Actually, this street, shall we do a bit of office? No, I think commercial. Or no, office. Office? A little bit of office down this street over here. Shall we go office up here? Not sure. Not sure. Let's mix it up a little bit. So let's do... ooh, that's not what I want. Let's do a bit of office. Yeah, let's do a bit of office down this one. And I'm making them a little bit smaller just so that we don't get very big buildings up here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of commercial on the other side. And because we can actually do that as low density, I'm going to make sure that we fill up the blocks kind of all the way. Or as much as we can at least. So that's a little bit of both worlds there. And I'm hoping to see a little bit of a little bit more of the residential coming in. It's going to have a nice effect with this, like this, and I like the idea of that actually carving that street quite nicely over here. Excellent. So what's down here? Some more residential. Yeah, actually, I think this entire area should be a little bit more residential. Actually, and what I'm thinking is this section through here can be a little bit more high density pieces. I like that a little bit more. We probably need to connect a little bit of pathway through there somewhere. Okay, so we fill in a few pieces there. Maybe just do that. Okay, so give me that path. Let's just see about how do we actually link that up there. Okay, let's get rid of these. and that's going to immediately rezone again, so let's just get rid of that. So now we can actually get the path through there. That's the intention, at least. And let's do a little bit of that so we can actually link that up. Perfect. So that's pretty good. Give me the the pedestrian crossing, so we make sure to add the pedestrian crossing over there so we can actually link that up. And again, over on this side, a pedestrian crossing over here is what I am keen on doing to make sure that we connect all of this up a little bit more. Excellent. I'm liking the look and feel of this. This is pretty good. Making use of the curvatures of the road and the kind of gradients of the hill and so on. Looking pretty decent. I am liking that. And are we seeing a fair bit of action over here? I think this is getting pretty busy. We're definitely starting to see a lot more action over here. So what are we seeing in terms of park info? How much is using this? Actually starting to see a bit of a profit over here. So we've had a lot of visitors. So the visitors are definitely picking up quite nicely over here. Are we seeing a bit of parking? Yeah, someone's parking over there. So all they needed was a bit of I'm liking that this road is getting busier. All they needed was a bit of public transport access over here. Like so many of you commented, the public transport is helping us out quite a lot. Yeah, I'm liking how this is filling in. It's really starting to look very nice. It's really starting to look very nice. I'm kind of wondering whether we do a little bit more of an office complex area at the top here. Maybe quite interesting if we do some of that. Let's do a little something like so. Fill in most of this. Not sure it's the ideal shape for this, but anyway, we'll see a little bit more office coming in there. The top of the hill. Excellent. This area filled in nicely. I'm liking the little suburb look that we've got going on over here. The road's getting pretty busy, but I think that's pretty decent. So we only have the little section of high density right there on the water, and then we've got a little bit lower density behind it. Looking pretty good. Question is, are we servicing this area sufficiently? Probably not. Probably not. So what I'm kind of keen on doing is maybe doing something like yeah, maybe over here somewhere. So let's do another bit of a pharmacy or a doctor's office, maybe a clinic, probably a clinic, definitely a bit of death care. So let's do a little bit of death care right there, and then let's do a clinic right next to it. And we're obviously seeing that's overlapping things a little bit. Okay, so that'll get rid of that. Good stuff. So there's a clinic with a bit of death care right over there. Then I'm kind of thinking we probably somewhere, yeah, maybe over here actually need a bit of a police station, a bit of a fire station too. Just something small, I think. A little bit of a volunteer fire station right over here could be pretty good. Just something like that. And then the police station piece, yeah, just the rural one, I think is going to be absolutely fine. Let's make sure to do that. Perfect. So that's police already doing its thing. Nice under the boulder over there. It actually fits in quite well there. So we're immediately seeing things happening over here. Things are getting busy. We're starting to see a fair bit of traffic coming in now. We're seeing these roads getting a little busier. We're seeing these bridges probably getting a bit busier. And I'm wondering about this one. Is this bridge and this is all of this still well used? I'm guessing with the new bridges coming in that this is not that well used anymore. There's now more people making use of this bridge, and particularly more people, I think, making use of this one, which is going to be a bit of a problem in the long run, I think. So we just need to make sure that we keep an eye on how that develops. Yeah, absolutely. So what I wanted to have a look at is if I take out that, is this demand going to go up or down, or yeah, it's still going down quite rapidly. Well, let's put that up there, and we'll just add a little like that. So at least there's a bit more demand for the residential. So I'm kind of liking that. Look how cool this is looking. That's just looking really interesting right there. The one thing that I also want to do is let's see about adding a little bit more of this in here, a bit more commercial, like so. Yeah, probably a little corner shop right there, maybe even over there, even a little bit right there. Yeah, pretty good. So we'll see a little bit of commercial popping in there, some more retail facilities. But yeah, this is looking really good. I'm liking this meander over here. It's getting a little steep in some locations, but steep residential roads is not the end of the world. I like the idea. So it was kind of looking a little bit funny, just meandering without all of these kind of ridges. But now with the development coming in, it's really starting to look pretty good in this area. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about how we managed to kind of lay out the hill and how it's kind of shaping into something that looks pretty decent. Tell me do you agree? Don't you agree? Is something looking funny to you over here, or is this how you would have done it? Let me know down below in the comments. This area is filling in very nicely. It's almost a little bit unnatural over this corner over here. Maybe we should get rid of one or two of these just to make it look a little bit more natural, because that kind of sticks out a little bit. Yeah, let's get rid of these two. Okay, let's get rid of those two, and we'll get rid of that. That looks much more natural. Actually, one more. I think one more is what we need to do. Grab, get rid of one more, and yeah, that should be fine. So no, disappear. So that looks much more natural, I think. Roads are getting pretty busy, but nothing too crazy. All very manageable pieces. Okay, let's. I actually need to end this episode, but what I'll quickly do as an end to it is I'll do a little bit of an extra layout in this area to see what we can do over here. I'm tempted to look into a little bit of industrial over here, maybe a little bit of so maybe I'm tempted to look into that a little bit, and then actually claw that off into a bit of a residential neighborhood on this side. So can we get rid of the traffic overlay over there? Okay, so if we say, and let's do them straight for now. So let's just make sure we're not kind of doing too badly over there. Okay, so let's try and get it a fairly decent layout. So we'll do a bit of that. I'm gonna do a similar thing right over there. And what's happened here is, again, this thing has naturally gone down to a lower level, which I can never quite understand why that keeps happening. So what we want to make sure is we want to make sure to hit the ground level, and then run that one that way. Probably only something like that and like that, and then what we'll do is we will tie them together over there. So that's a pretty decent starting point. And then what I want to do is do some crescents. That's pretty good. So let's do a few crescents in here. Go with a straight line. So that's a crescent right over there, so that looks pretty good. We can do a similar kind of thing. Maybe not quite there, but maybe something like that. That's almost a bit of a crescent right there. Bit of a bit of a cul-de-sac right over here. That's pretty good. I like that. This layout is starting to look very nice. It's actually working. It's actually working quite well. This is still more of this stuff. Is that a pretty decent angle? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that looks fairly natural. Let's maybe lift that up just a tad, because I think that did the whole -3 thing yet again. Okay, so there we go. Some road connections right through there. Let's make sure to do a little bit more crescent work over here. So what I'm going to start doing is run that one in there. So up to about that much. So if we do kind of do something a little like this. Yeah, I think that's about fine. I don't think we're going to do much more than that over there. So that's that area. Then what I wanted to do is do a little bit of an industrial, maybe an industrial kind of lumber area right over here, and I think that's where we're going to end it. So that's a bit of a layout right there, and it works quite well with the waterfront and the other road connections over here. So how do we tie these in? And so some main roads. So I'm kind of thinking what we do is we run a bit of a main road in there, and again with this, why doesn't it just conform to the natural ground level? I have no idea. Maybe if you know why it does that, why it keeps hammering me with the wrong things. Kind of thinking we need a little bit of almost a straight section. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so something like that, and now we're gonna lose power, so let's quickly link power back up again. Okay, let's link these two together over there. Sorry, I wanted to do the same thing over here, so let's do a bit of that. And then I'm kind of wondering what we do with this. Something like that. Is that going to be sufficient? And now what I'm thinking is we grab the gravel roads, and we just do a few of these kind of spurs out of here. Probably get pretty busy, to be honest, so let's maybe do that one through there, and then just keep these to the one side. And that's it's a bit of an interesting look, to be honest, so I'm kind of keen to see how that kind of turns out. Something like that. And do that as a bit of a lumber industrial area. It could get pretty busy through here, but there are plenty of roads that you can use to loop around, and this will actually get you access to the port. Not in a very direct manner. Can they? They can actually, so they'll just go over the top here in that direction. So yeah, that'll help a little bit with access to the port. Yeah, so that's a layout, a new little piece of layout, and we're seeing some pretty good infill in this area, and it's starting to look pretty nice. And it does look like a decent bit of a step down, and we've run out of water, but I will fix that in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. If you've liked it, hit the button, and yes, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.